What?
This fire.
Yeah, it is a fire.
Can you burn me?
No, it's on a TV screen, and that would be physically impossible. But I appreciate your curiosity. Hey guys, and welcome to episode 40 of Break Time. I'm Alex.
I am Eman.
And thank you very much for tuning in to this very middle-aged episode of Break Time. Fun fact, what's that? But Alex, I saw y'all tweet that y'all filmed episode 40 last week. Well, we'll get into that, I guess. We do have some announcements to make, as we always do at the top of the show. If you want to kind of check out what we talk about throughout the show, skip to your specific conversations that maybe you want to hear us have, as always, you can go into the description. You can kind of skip around to view certain conversations if you want to do that. There's also a link to our Teespring store if you want to support the show in that way. We also have two announcements. So this is the 40th episode of Break Time. So we have, in theory, done this for 40 weeks, but with scheduling. Anyway, what we're going to do leading up to episode 50 is me and Eman have decided that we are going to have a guest between episodes 41 and 50. So we're going to do our best to have a guest every single episode leading up to our 50th episode, which is a big milestone for us because we've committed to something for that long. And also, secondary announcement, Johan, please stop texting me.
Is that the one?
Yeah,
that's the one. How the fuck me over?
No, if he complains to me, I'm not going to respond.
You made sure to put that shit in the beginning of the video.
Yeah. Well, so that I didn't want to put it towards the end.
I know. You're conscious about this time.
Johan, I love you. You're a great guy, swell guy. It's not the texting me part that bothers me.
Yeah,
For some reason, no, it's not. For some reason, you have this insane habit. I don't know what it is. Every single fucking time you've texted me,
don't say it.
I have been like dealing with something.
Yeah.
So like at one point you texted me when I was arguing with my insurance agent about my wreck that I had, and I was like, I'm not gonna fucking text Johan. Then you texted me during one of the times I was dealing with my breakup, and I was like, I don't want to talk to him. And then you always manage to text me at the worst possible time, and you make it to where it's so bad of a time where I'm never like, oh well, I'll just text him back later. It's like, I'm not even gonna text him. So Johan, I'll text you, okay? I'll text you if I ever want to talk to you, which is probably not gonna be anytime soon, but I'll text you.
It's so crazy, man. I was just telling him this, dude. This might be a little too revealing, but hey,
no, go ahead.
Hashtag transparency.
Ooh,
we went to go see Bill Burr, man. And,
did he say something about me?
No. But I was saying.
Oh, you were telling him about
something. I was like, hey, man, I love the conversation. It's cool. I don't mind you texting, but somehow, dude, you always seem to text me when I'm having sex.
Eman's sitting there like,
it sounds so bad.
This good for you. She's all into it and
it's
shit.
Good for you.
Yeah. And then Johan's messaging you like, yo, bro, in the third Planet of the Apes movie, did you ever figure out how Caesar never actually felt his character motivation that he got from the second movie?
Yes.
Like,
Johan,
I'm sorry, we're just shitting on Johan right now.
Not shitting. This is a come to Jesus meeting, dude.
Yeah.
We love you, bro. If you got some shit on your mind, man, please
meet up.
Hey,
schedule.
Want to go grab some wings, and we'll talk all night, my friend.
Not wings. It's real messy and it's not great for conversation. But if you ever want to go to Twin Peaks, and because at Twin Peaks they got some great views. The TVs are always right there. We can see them perfectly.
Absolutely.
There are also bitches there who barely wear anything. But
yeah, man. Just Johan, we love you. We miss you, man. Just let's sit down. Let's talk about some shit.
Yeah, let's hang out. If you ever want to talk, like text Eman, and he'll text me that you want to hang out. Okay.
I told you this. Even Isaac, I told you. No context, out of nowhere. We're walking. I think we're in like a grocery store.
I'm not sure if y'all.
We're just walking
mad.
somewhere. I know. Nah, he's not gonna. Isaac just goes, man, Johan sure does text a lot, doesn't he? I said nothing about it to Isaac. Although Johan, he's been pretty chill on my end.
The point is, Johan.
Go ahead, man.
I think we prefer talking in person more.
Absolutely.
It's not us. It's definitely you. No, I'm kidding. No, but on the real, I'm down to hang out at any point. Just
let's do it, man.
I'm not a big
texter.
Big texter.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get into our first topic. Eman.
Yeah, dude.
Technically, this is episode 40.5.
Yeah.
Because we filmed in episode 40 after last Easter. Because we had gone to went to the Music Fest downtown San Antonio. I saw Imagine Dragons that weekend. Me and Eman went and saw Panic at the Disco. Who else was it?
Panic at the Disco.
Dea. And Maroon 5.
Yeah.
I was thinking there was someone else. I thought there was 4 acts that day. I'm more than certain there were 4 acts that day.
Oh,
it was One Republic.
Yes.
Why did I forget One Republic? That's such a big thing.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, so we went to go see them.
Song and dance.
We had a great day. I was sunburned. I was peeling that whole week on my forehead. Nowhere else, just on my forehead. I hated it. But we came back. We were so tired. We had barely had any liquid except for alcohol. Got here, filmed the whole episode. And Eman, how did it go for you?
For me?
For the episode, how did you feel about it?
I think we have a very mutual understanding of how the episode went. Mm-hmm. And the best word I could use to describe it was down. It went very downhill. The mood was down.
Yeah.
Conversation was down. Mm-hmm. Everything was just down.
Yeah, because me and Eman, because I started editing it because we knew it was going to be late because we recorded at like almost 2 a.m. by the time I got home that night, and I was so tired. We had been at that music festival all day. And I got home and I just crashed. I was like, this isn't going to come out Monday morning. It's going to come out like Tuesday. Started editing it that night. And I was like, fuck, this isn't good. I was like, this is actually bad. We've had episodes where we've had to like kind of trudge through it. Is that a word? I guess. Trudge. Where we had to like trudge through it and kind of like, just put on our good face and get it done. But that was like the first episode where I think genuinely during the episode and after the episode I was like, man, this didn't turn out good. Because even the episodes where we had low energy and we felt like we had to kind of get ourselves going a little bit, we would record it and go, man, that was actually a really good episode. Yeah. That one just wasn't.
No, it was bad. It was bad. No matter how, it was just, it's a recipe for disaster from waking up to the podcast. Mm-hmm. This is what I did today, that day. Woke up. Had a crazy ass workout in my garage. I think I did fucking treadmill sprints. Crazy shit. Didn't eat. Hung out with you all day. First thing I ate was beer. No. Well, the first thing I consumed
was beer.
Yeah,
we had 2 beers.
Yeah, 2 beers.
2 big ass beers, and then we ate bratwurst.
Mine, yeah. Standing up all day.
Yeah.
In the sun. We had to listen to Panic at the Disco, so it killed some of our brain activity. Mm-hmm. And then
that's true. And the other thing we were talking about is. Normally, like, me and you haven't... Well, we went to go see A Quiet Place the other day.
Yeah.
But, like, even then, like, we were at a movie. We talked a little bit. Even when we hang out, we never... Like, if me and you hang out, we'll talk. And if we do the podcast after, we're fine. We have plenty more to talk about. But me and you spent, like, 8 hours that day doing nothing but listening to music and talking to each other.
We burnt out.
Yeah, and it wasn't burnt out like we had nothing to talk about. We were burnt out just as far as, like, those creative juices, those jokes, those, like... punchlines and all that, like, we just didn't have it.
It was a classic case of mental exhaustion. That's
the best way to put it. So this is episode 40, but it's actually good because episode 40, and I was telling him on this, episode 40 is a milestone episode. It's very important. We've been doing this for 40 episodes. We've stuck to it. Because me and Eman used to make other YouTube content. I've been in a band. I've done the champion stuff, obviously. The podcast is, most episodes are longer, but even if you just take it as an hour, that's 40 hours of our life just on the internet. Like, that's kind of nuts. Like, that's pretty cool. There's definitely a part of me where I'm like, it'll be really cool to one day, like, listen back and, like, see what I was thinking when we first started the podcast. Yeah. And then how I progressed. There's another part of me that's going, like, yeah, I'm not gonna watch that. Like, I'm like, ooh, cringe. Like, I'm not gonna.
I definitely am. Well, you said it's our life, right? 40 hours of our life. I wouldn't even call it that, man. I'd say it's a step further. It's 40 hours of our deepest, sometimes most personal thoughts. You know what I mean? Just all over the internet. And my thing is, like, I would love to sit down and watch it when I'm 40 and show my kids and shit and laugh and whatever. But another thing is, like, am I exposing myself a little too much? Should I have a pullback a little bit? You know what I mean?
Like, are you giving too much of your life out on the podcast?
Right, yeah.
I don't think so. I think there's definitely a line that we draw a little bit. Like, because we'll be... here's the thing. Life in general... I've always been this type of person, even in high school, where, like, I don't have secrets You know, like at least I don't think I have a lot of secrets, but like, you know, I would very much like, you know, like at the time, like you and Serena Rip were like the only people that I would like talk to and like share like, you know, the more not intimate but like just shit that I felt like I couldn't talk about.
Right. It's
Not
personal shit.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, and like me and you definitely like we'll talk about our personal shit. You'll talk about your savagery, your relationships. I've talked about, you know, my relationship, how happy I am in certain times of my life, and
Right.
obviously more recently I've talked about like, you know, things I'm going through where I'm not
Absolutely.
the happiest. So I
Absolutely.
think it's fine because we're documenting those things, and hopefully the few people that watch and hopefully we grow that viewer base, they feel somehow one connected to us, but maybe they're going through something similar and they can see someone else's point of view in it. You know what I mean? And I don't know. And I also think it's, to me, podcasting in general and conversations, I think that there's so much more of an enriching experience in listening to it and hearing someone's story than some bullshit like Facebook or Twitter or whatever.
Big time.
Because like,
Big
you know,
time.
you're seeing here's what I love. So we've talked about, or I think I know I've talked to you about it. I don't know about it on the podcast. But a lot of people compare their lives to others that they see on social media.
Yeah.
And it's a big problem because you're seeing everyone's...
Highlights.
Yeah, you know, I feel like they just talked about this like on the Brilliant Idiots or something. Cause I feel like...
Maybe.
Because I'm hearing it. But anyway, yeah, no, like you always see people at their best. You always see people at the parts that they want to show you. And you only ever see the parts that they want to show you. The highlights. The parts that are the perfect parts to them. And you're like, man, if I could only be like them. But you're not seeing all their other shit. So you're comparing yourself to this unrealistic standard that these people aren't even living because they're just showing you their highlight reel. You know, it's kind of like if you were to watch a movie with all the in-between parts where they're like, do that again because you did that really bad. The movie would be terrible. But because you're only seeing the best parts that they filmed, you're like, oh, this is a great movie. But my point is, like, I feel like the podcast form or anything that's long form, you're getting all the nitty gritty. You're getting the thought process. You're not just getting the 4 sentences that you can post on Twitter or something. True. But what were you going to say?
But I was going to say, man, to play devil's advocate in this situation, would you call that to a certain level motivating of what you aspire to be like? I think at a certain point, like, for example, I don't know, Mike Tyson used to look at film of Muhammad Ali. And when he would watch that film, all he would see is the highlights of Muhammad Ali knocking guys out in the ring. He never got to see the realization of his family not wanting him to compete in the sport. He's struggling with, his celebrity and being a Muslim. Of course, the brain damage.
Damn, it's a lot of cars.
I know, right? So if we had that, right, in Mike Tyson's psyche on his already treacherous ass journey.
Car? Oh my god.
It's
they just going around the block? What the fuck?
Yeah,
ahead,
it's probably Mike. Yeah, but anyway, on this already treacherous ass journey of greatness, to put a wrench such as, I'll fucking say, reality in his psyche, do you think he would have achieved the same greatness? And it's a rhetorical question, you know what I mean? Well, not rhetorical, but it's...
like, people compare... I see that, right?
Yeah.
I think what you're talking about is a different sect of that. Like if you see someone who has a nice house and a nice car, or like they're working their dream job, you want to aspire to do the same and work towards your dream job, work towards your best version of you. I totally get that. Like workout photos, stuff like that. That's totally fine. What I am more talking about is when people post... and like this isn't me at all because I quite frankly don't give a shit, but I've definitely noticed other people like will retweet or will post on Facebook about like, oh, look at this great couple living their life, why am I single, or why is this or that. Like more of like seeing people's like families, their vacations, their relationships, their big moments, their awards and all that shit that they're getting, and they're like, man, why didn't I get an award? Why don't I have a girlfriend that loves me like that? Why don't I have a family that's going to get together on Easter and do this whole thing, right? So when you're goddamn when you have that and people...
God. I had Fast and Furious 8 when I was talking, and you have the Rugrats.
Yeah. Anyway, but my point is people are comparing people's moments in life to the end goal of, how do I put it, of like milestones that aren't to better themselves, but it's an infatuation with something. So like people are infatuated with the fact that this person has a great relationship, or people are infatuated with the fact this person has a great family, or infatuated that they've won this award or they're doing this, but they don't see the hardships they've gone through to retain that relationship, retain that family, get those goals to get that award or to go out on vacation. So I definitely see your side of it where you're saying like people,
it's not even my side. I'm playing devil's
advocate. No,
right.
but just to kind of go off what you said, I feel like there's definitely a healthy level of like, oh, I'm gonna aspire to be great. And then there's also a level of like, oh, I want to be like them. That's the hard part. You need to say, I want to aspire to be successful, or I want to aspire to be great. Never, I want them. I want that. Like, I want what they have, because you're never gonna have what that person has.
Maybe it's like the wording should be, I want that level of impact.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
No, I get what you mean, but that level of impact on your goals, not your milestones. I don't know if I'm making that make sense. But to me, like, goals are like your job, your house, your car. Milestones are your wife, your friends, your family. Never go after, because those are personal things that you can't set yourself up to gain. You can't set yourself up to be like anyone else's personal life, because that's just them. It happens organically, and that can kind of help us transition into something that me and you were talking about a little earlier.
Well, real quick, I wanted to end on this.
Go ahead.
I wanted to end on this. What it's really fucked up too, man. I think because for example, it's all about perspective, man. When I see a picture of, let's say, I don't know, Floyd Mayweather, posting a picture in front of his huge mansion with his 11 goddamn kids and his beautiful wife and all of his belts, right? I don't look at that and go, why can't that be me? I look at that and go, wow, that's really inspiring. Not because I look to mirror his fucking life, but I just realized the level of greatness that he achieved, I could also achieve, because I was given the same life he was, right? But I feel like some people, and Elliot Holst was even talking about this, some people who, especially men who like lack fathers, for example, strong father figures, they lack mentors in their life. So they look at these people and, you know, it's where they want to be. But they'll turn to the wrong guys to mentor them. They'll turn to the guys like maybe, I don't know, some douchebag on Instagram who flaunts wealth and money, right? And that'll become a fucking mentor. And, you know, you kind of look to mimic your mentor a little bit. Like my dad, probably my biggest motivation and mentor in my life. You know what I mean? I'm really inspired by him. So I kind of...
Now, but are you inspired because of the work that he put in and the things that he can accomplish? Or are you inspired because you want to be exactly like him?
Not to be exactly. The first one. I see the work ethic.
The work, exactly.
The dedication to his family and shit like that. And that's what I aspire to be. And mind you, he's my dad. I'm with him every day. So I see the struggles. So I have a realistic expectation of what to expect in life. But these motherfuckers who are, let's say, motivated by the douchebag and look to mimic his life, because they don't see his flaws, which he has.
They only see the best
parts. The second they encounter their own flaws, they realize, oh shit, well, my life isn't like his. Maybe I'm just destined to be a fuck up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing with our society, at least to me. I always see people, especially on social media, always striving to copy. Like to like, oh, see that, I want that exactly. Or like, oh, see them, I want to be like them, or whatever. Even this like dumb shit that like maybe you don't think about, like sometimes girls will retweet like this picture of this beautiful girl, and they're like, why don't I look like them? Or like, oh, she's so beautiful, why can't I look like that, or whatever. It's a comparison thing, and we've been so used to doing it that people don't realize it's unhealthy or don't feel that they're doing it. Because like there are definitely times where like for me personally, I'll scroll through like Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter or something, and I'll go like, oh man, that guy is looking pretty good. He's lost a lot of weight and everything. Like that is inspiring for me to want to do the same thing. But there's also been a part of me where I'm like, man, that guy looks good. I bet he gets a bunch of bitches and shit. I should do that to get bitches and shit. But it shouldn't be about that. It should be about bettering myself. And if that's a byproduct that I'm the type of person who wants to take advantage of, I'll do that. But realistically, it should never be like, oh, I want to be him. It should be, I want to have those results because I want to, what's the word? Be strict with myself and have a goal to maintain and to achieve.
Absolutely. Yeah. Just because I don't want to be a swimmer doesn't mean I can't be inspired by Michael Phelps.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just the level of greatness, but yeah.
So that kind of transition into another thing we're talking about. And I told you I wanted to stop because we're saving it for the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
So, God, how do I transition into that? We were kind of talking about, so me and Eman, you know, because relationships is always something I've always found fascinating. Talking about Eman's experiences and how they differ from my experiences. Now, obviously, I have a whole different experience. And Eman and I were talking about how, gosh, how do I put it without making you sound shitty like I was earlier? Because I was trying to make you sound shitty. No, but like you're very much in. How about this? Make it easier. Eman, explain your dating life when you were dating, because obviously you're in a relationship right now.
Yeah.
But explain like your dating life, what that entailed. You don't have to be graphic, but how did your savage lifestyle kind of come into that?
Yeah, look.
Go ahead.
When he describes my lifestyle, just because it like really differs from his. Even I'll say like I live a savage ass lifestyle, man. It's all for fun, right?
I like that. Yeah, man. I live a savage ass lifestyle, man.
Yes, dude. It's gotta have a list, but it's all for fun. I don't fucking live a savage ass lifestyle. The reality of it is, whenever I'm not in a relationship, whenever I feel that I'm lacking feminine energy in my life, which I feel for a man is very important, it's inevitable.
Well, with that shirt, looks like you have plenty of it.
I don't know what that means. Oh, feminine energy with the shirt.
Because you were telling me you were worried it made you look gay.
Yeah, man. It's all good, though. It's all good.
But, I'm wearing a Captain America shirt and a blazer.
I know. We're both a little fucked up, man. We concluded that years ago. Yeah. But, what was I saying?
Lack of feminine
energy, which is important for masculine energy. There's always a level of balance you have to have. You have. It's inevitable that you will seek that out in other places, right? And for me,
you're so analytical about this. Like you're so like X's and O's.
This is what I
numbers.
think about this.
Yeah, but I'm saying like about this, like you're a robot. Like the numbers are scrolling and you're like, masculine levels failing. Need to balance out with feminine energy.
You gotta be self-aware a little bit, man. I'm just being self-aware.
Your eyes, the red circles are going. Target acquired.
God, right.
Seek, destroy that pussy.
Fuck.
Sorry, go ahead.
What I was saying was, and when a man lacks that level of masculine energy in his life, it's inevitable that he will seek it out in other areas. Mm-hmm. For me personally, it's always been porn, man. I used to struggle big time with like watching too much porn, and for that left a shallow level of fulfillment in my life because I was getting what I was supposed to be receiving from a woman, not even sex, just that level of intimacy. And I was receiving it from
you're not even receiving a level of intimacy. You're just receiving perceived intimacy.
A level of release.
And completion. There you go.
There we go.
I'd say it's just completion. That's it.
I don't want to even bring it to sex. I can even have that in conversation with a woman. It's whatever. And that's a character flaw, right? And that's weakness, and it's not gonna propel me to where I see myself in the future, right? And so I don't really villainize dating women. Not even multiple women at the same time. Mm-hmm. Mind you, they all know that, hey, I date women. I'm not necessarily looking for a relationship, but I'm not opposed to the idea of a relationship. Prime example, I have a girlfriend now. And so, yeah, man, I feel like it's very important for a man to, if not have an abundance of women in his life, just have women in his life. Yeah. So I've always dated women, and I've always approached women, and I've always courted women. And to finish it off, man, even when I approach women, I don't. It's the biggest realization I had outside of high school when I graduated is how much you actually have to pursue literally everything in your life that you want for yourself, whether it be your career, the job you want. You hear my fucking voice cracking. It's been having that problem lately. I don't know why.
Puberty.
Right? Yeah, but your career. The kind of car you want, the house you want, the life you want for yourself, every aspect of that you have to avidly pursue. Nothing else is going to be handed to you anymore. And so I feel like me sitting back and, hey man, when the right one comes, she's going to come. It's not the case, man. It's not the case. Because when I did live by that lifestyle, it left me really fucked up. I was in a waiting mentality. I was in a why me mentality. And I gained some really bad flaws because of it. Flaws that still affect me to this fucking day, dude. So that's why I date women. That's why I live a savage ass lifestyle, and that's why prior to having a girlfriend, it seemed like every other episode I was dating a new chick. Yeah.
And when you date,
you
do.
Yeah, at a certain point, well, we may have sex if things are going great.
He does the intercourse.
Yeah, he really trivializes sex, man. You see?
How do I trivialize it? What do you mean by that?
Maybe I don't want to say villainize. Like almost shame
it in a way?
Not shame it.
Look at me over here, sex shaming. I'm kidding.
No,
No, so let me go through my
ahead,
perspective.
go
This
ahead,
was the
go
conversation
ahead.
we were having earlier. So Eman obviously lives that lifestyle, sinful, yes. No, I'm kidding. That was my
It is.
raised Catholic portion coming out. No, but and I'm not just. I was raised Catholic. I'm not currently practicing. So it's not has nothing to do with the religious aspect of it. But for me, like I was telling Iman, I'm the type of person where I believe, and just because I guess what the argument boils down to a little bit is intimacy and sex, a little bit. So for me, well, no. Well, but for me, and intimacy, it doesn't just mean like physical intimacy. I just like any type of intimacy. For me, I'm the type of person, and I wasn't particularly raised this way. I don't think, because my father is always the type of guy who's like, hey, date around, find women and stuff, and all that, because that's how he lived. I don't know what it was, but I was just brought up believing, and for me, just having this kind of already built into me, or I don't know where I picked it up, but for me, intimacy and sex is kind of more of a sacred thing that you share with someone that you're like, not necessarily like, oh, this is the person I'm going to marry, but like, oh, this person I have a genuine connection with, and we're building something together, whether that be a relationship, a life, or a family, whatever, and that's exclusive for this person, or like that is for me to share with this person. And that's, I definitely feel that in some way that kind of stems from the way that the Catholic Church teaches you or whatever, but I don't see it like that because of a religious thing. I see it that way for me as like a sign of like respect almost. Like for me, and this just, I mean, obviously I'm never imposing my view onto you.
Of course, right.
No, you're not doing that to me, but just for me, I always see it as like I'm respecting myself and I'm respecting the person that I hope to spend the rest of my life with by when I find you, if I find you, we're going to have that connection. We'll have that intimacy, and that'll be something that we're going to share together. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how I see it. So it's, for me, it's always been kind of like this taboo thing when I hear you talk about like dating, and obviously I don't shame you for it. That's your life. You're living the best of it however you want to, and that's totally fine. But for me, it's always been taboo to me to hear like, oh, hey, we went out and everything. And me, like, every time you told me you ever gone out with a girl, I'm like, oh, how was she? Like, how was it talking to her? Like, that's always my first, like I want to, like, hey, how'd y'all get along? Like, did it kick off or whatever? And then not every single time you're like, yeah, man, it was great. We ended up having sex in the back of the car. And that's...
Cut it out, man.
I'm not saying that's a real situation, but I'm just... wow. I wasn't even trying to out you. I wasn't trying to out you.
I'm sorry, man.
No, so, like, that was supposed to be a hypothetical. But anyway, but hey, man, yeah, then this ended up happening. For me, that was always like, whoa, bro, where's her ring at? No, because for me, again, like for me, I feel that that's something that you should save, and that's just my viewpoint on the whole thing. But the reason that I kind of wanted to bring out on the podcast was, one, I thought it was an interesting topic to see like two different, like completely different viewpoints on it, and I also think that not both of those viewpoints, but my viewpoint comes a little from this innate, primal kind of thing that all, not only men, but men and people are built in with. So, like animals, which we all are. Animals are territorial, right? So, there's definitely a how do you put it? Animals are territorial, and there's definitely a level of the same thing with humans. Like, humans are going to be territorial over their family, over their relationships, over, in this case, their woman, the person that they're with. You know what I mean? So, for me, I understand that. So, like, I think any man would be like that to his woman. Like, earlier, I mentioned something about your woman, not that it was super bad. We'll say it wasn't super bad. And you went like, that's my woman, man. Like, you know, and that's just, I know you were being playful about it, but that's just like an innate thing, I feel like. I mean, am I wrong about that? Like,
no, you're definitely right about it. Absolutely.
So, me knowing that, I also understand, like, hey, if I meet someone or I'm talking to someone, that is going to be some other dude's person that he's going to marry one day. I know that sounds super bitch, and like, I don't know,
super
to me,
bitch.
Well, to me, like, I feel like with the way society is, I would be called like a bitch, or I'd be called like a pussy or some shit. But I know that this person that I run into is hopefully going to be some dude's wife or someone's mom or whatever one day. So if I don't have a connection with them or I don't feel like that's something for the long term, I would never think about like, oh, I'm going to get a physical release out of this person or whatever. And again, not villainizing what you do, because that's you living your life. And obviously they're a part of it. You're not like raping them or knocking them out or some shit. So obviously they're okay with that. For me personally, my point is that just the way that I think about it is just so, I guess, a little more traditional than someone who's like I'm San Angelo and you're Austin. You know what I mean? I want my good Texas morals.
Oh, you're talking about the actual city.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I thought you were naming people. Like, I don't know who those characters are. Yeah, man. So where do I even?
Yeah, man.
You know, you had a few points that I wanted to bring up, but damn, I was pretty long-winded. I see what you're saying, man. Definitely see what you're saying. But the only reason that I would ever like, I don't want to impose my shit on you either.
Yeah.
But the only reason I'm so passionate, and this is the only time you will ever hear me try to shift someone's perspective. Usually I say, hey man, you live your life, what works for you works for you. I'm just coming from a place where I used to have the same approach as you. You know what I mean? I used to have the same mindset. And I don't know, man. It's a huge shock to me was how parallel the female mind is to the male mind. Like a lot of people think that men are heavily in pursuit of sex and women are this docile thing that are supposed to make you work for it and are supposed to trivialize sex and are supposed to, you know, be really anal about it. The level of freedom that these women now have when it comes to sex really boggled my fucking mind. I was really taken back by it. And so when I hear you say things like that's my women, or that's my woman, and to label it like a primordial thing, I wouldn't call that very accurate, man. I wouldn't call that very accurate, because when you come with a level of my as in territory, right, and then you enact on those things. Back in the day, it was like, that's mine. Oh, you're getting the wondering eye. I'm gonna bang you over.
I don't necessarily mean like mine.
Hold on, let me just,
go ahead.
Finish this. It used to be like, I'm gonna bang you over the head with this club and bring you back because you're mine. But now it's like, she's mine. I really want to lock her down with marriage. I really want to, you know, start raising a family with this chick. I really want to lock her down. And dude, it's crazy, man. Women sense the shit, and because we see it like in the media and movies and whatever the fuck, we normalized it. We normalized it, but women are very selective about the man that they want to be with. Yeah. And they want to make that choice about who they want to spend the rest of their life with, who they want to have inseminate them and have kids with. Women have to be very selective. And when they're in that selective process, they are to be left alone. Women are like cats, you know what I mean? When they want you, they want you. When they don't, they don't. You really got to respect when they don't. Yeah. The problem is, and the problem that a lot of my friends who come to me for advice get the, hey man, she hit me with the, let's just be friends, things are moving too fast text. I don't know what it is, man. I'm sending her flowers, I'm texting her good morning. That's the exact problem. They feel clouded. Their decision making is clouded. You're becoming a little overbearing. Yeah. If they want to be left alone, take the hint and back off a little bit. And like I said, they're like cats. They're gonna come at a certain point if you're the right one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I've always come with the approach of just have an abundance of women, obviously, right? And they're gonna know that, hey, this is what I do. I'm not gonna just lock you down. I like to date other women. If you want to get serious, we'll have the conversation, and I'll shut everybody out, and we'll focus on us. But in the meantime, I'm gonna date around. You know what I mean? And I expect you to do the same thing. And yeah, man, it's always seemed to work out that way. The women have always felt comfortable dating me. Yeah, it's always been very much a mutual thing. There's always a level of respect there. But that's just been my success. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. No, I get you. And you know, because like we always say, what's gonna work for you is gonna work for you in any situation. And for me, I guess really what it boils down to is coming from a very, very long relationship that was almost half of my life's worth of relationship. Yeah. For me, there were definitely certain feelings and certain things that I had going on in that relationship where there were definitely several points where I'm like, this is not that I've lived forever, but I was like, this is the happiest I've ever been in my entire life. And I love this feeling and what is going on. And not that you haven't had that, because I'm sure that you have in your own way or whatever, but when it's over a certain period of time and you kind of get that feeling, for me anyway, I
for myself and my experiences, I know how that felt for me.
Mm-hmm.
I know how special that was, and I don't want to lessen that experience that I might have in the future with whoever because of me clouding those special moments with maybe diluting them because I've had strenuous sex with this person, or I've had strenuous wasn't the right word. I meant God,
like intimate, deep.
No, I guess constant or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Like just constantly like doing that because I feel like it should. For me, having experienced what I've experienced, I want that to be an experience. It's never going to be the exact same, but I want to be that happy and have those experiences with someone who's going to be very special for me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of where I come from with that
Okay.
aspect of it. So again, like, you know, to kind of wrap up my view on it, as far as how you're saying like the territorial part of it, I was just the way that I was meaning that was like kind of like you said, like, hey, like we're at a place where we want to start a life together, and I'm territorial over what we're building, not necessarily like over you, like, hey, you're mine, like type of thing. But again, for me, it's very much like I want that to remain special, kind of already knowing how that felt. So in the future, I'm going to have that again. And obviously, your emotions are different. We're not exactly wired the same.
Absolutely.
So you're going to find that happiness in whatever route Eman is going to go on that's going to be best for Eman. But for Alex, for Joe, but for Alex, that route is very different because for me anyway, I feel unless something happens like, you know, I don't know, but unless something happens that completely changes my mind overnight, I mean, you know me, I've very much always been cemented in that kind of belief. So, yeah.
I want to say this, man.
Go ahead, man.
I do want to say this. To bring it back to the point where you said, like, a relationship with a woman would be,
Would be?
God damn.
You know what it is, man?
What is it?
Computer Eman isn't working. You spent too much time with your girlfriend recently, and you got too much of that feminine energy. And your hormones are all fucked up.
Oh God, where am I? Why am I wearing this fucking shirt? But no, to bring it back to
Emon's like, where are all of the women?
I respect none of them. But
like, why are they voting?
I know, right? The real Eman wakes up and shit. But look, man. But look, to bring it back to the point, what point was I gonna bring it back to? This is what happens when you not even gonna fucking. God, what point?
All day?
No. No. Oh yeah, to say that, to bring it back to a point. There's a point where you said like the level of intimacy or how much you how much impact that intimacy can have on you as a man would be diluted because of the fact that you're also having the same experience with another woman. Mm-hmm. Gotta say I disagree with that, man. Gotta say, I guess I disagree with that.
Wait, which part again?
You said at some point, like sharing a moment with a woman can be way less impactful. I'm wording it differently, obviously, but you said sharing a moment with a woman can be way less impactful.
like it would dilute.
Right.
Like, yeah. No, and I totally get that. Like I said, because that's exactly why right after that I said, like, for you, it'd probably be very different. Me, I'm the type of person where, not like I'm super emotional, but I remember things based off of emotion. Like, I still remember I'm sure you do to an extent too. I still have very, not strong feelings, I don't know how to put it, but I still remember exactly how I felt and what was going through my mind when I had my first kiss with that person. Yeah. And I know that for me, that's always something that's going to be there. Uh-huh. And I remember, you know, all the first intimate moments that I've had with, you know, whoever was in my relationship at that time. Mm-hmm. And for me, personally, those impact me in a way, and I'm sure they do with everyone. Yeah. But for me personally, I guess what it comes down to a little bit is, one, I want to save those, and two, I don't want to deal with feeling like I wasted those. Mm-hmm. And that's just me. And that's just how I'm going to feel about it. But, yeah.
Okay. I mean, yeah, look, what makes you, if the lifestyle you're living is working for you, by all means, keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep on rocking. I don't want to impose the way I live on you at all. Yeah. I want to just make that clear. But no, I just want to say, like, okay, then I'll just tail it on my perspective. Let's just dig into my perspective, not even a rebuttal to what you just said. Yeah. I noticed, right, that you know, people think that they're supposed to have this special thing with this one person, and if you did have that special thing with multiple people, that you'll never know when it's the right one because it'll be diluted. You'll really not know what it is. But in my experience, man, when you actually come from an abundance of women, right, and you have choices, and all the women in your life are cool and they're great people and shit's working great, and you have an option of choices, it's kind of like a food connoisseur who has great food every fucking day. He's the one who knows how to identify what the perfect food should taste like because he's had experience and he's had trial and error with plenty of different foods.
I get what you're saying, yeah.
You know what I mean? So, mind you, we'll, to use that same example, we'll have a motherfucker from Africa who's never even had a burger. He's going to settle for motherfucking McDonald's because he lacks the experience and the awareness.
This is the best burger I've ever had.
All right, T'Challa.
Wakanda forever.
He lacks the experience of what the fuck is out there. And I see a lot of these McDonald's-ass niggas running around, man.
See, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think, you know, I know, obviously, like you said, you're not pointing it at me. But, like, I see that all the goddamn time. Like, I see dudes where...
I don't foresee you having that problem at all, by the way.
I fucking don't. I'm never going to have that problem.
Yeah.
But, no, but, like, I'll see dudes with girls, and I'll hear the dude talk, and I'll hear the girl talk. And, like, a lot of times, like, when I meet people who are in a relationship... I can hear them talk to each other for like 30 seconds and I'm like, this is a good relationship. Like it's all about to me, like, because I'm a very big conversation person.
Same.
And I could talk to you. I could talk to Serena really well. I
would take my girlfriend and I went to breakfast this morning, and I was like, "Fuck, I am talking her ears off right now. Let me shut the fuck up." Yeah, but I get you, man.
No, I get you. I'm a big conversation person. I want to talk. I want to know what you think. I find that so fascinating, and just because to me, having a conversation is like some people are like. Like, here's my thing. I think it's so crazy when people are like, "Oh, first date, let's go to the movies," or "First date, let's go bowling," or something. I'd be like, "First date, coffee or some shit." Obviously, I haven't had to do that. But I'm like, I would think you would want to, the same way that I would treat my friends is the same way I would treat anyone else in that regard. Like, I would want to talk to them. Yeah. I'd want to talk to them and, have, because for me, that is as much fun as like playing a game or, doing bowling or
mental gymnastics, dude.
Yeah, bro. I
That's
love
why
it.
we do this shit, man.
I love it. Yeah.
This shit is so therapeutic. It's beautiful shit, man.
Yeah, man.
But let me close out with this. Well, unless you want to continue the topic.
I was trying to remember what else you had meant. Oh no, but like dudes who settle for chicks because they're just like I have someone in my life, and you probably know exactly who it is. I was talking about him earlier and about his Tinder thing. I have someone in my life who I feel is very much like, oh, this person is into me or this person likes me or whatever, so I'm going to jump on it and I'm going to hold on to that. And I can understand that, but at the same time, there's so many dudes who get lost in that shit. Like, I'll see dudes with girls who are just like beyond, and I'm sorry, maybe those girls will find someone or they're dudes for those girls, but girls who are like beyond like airheaded or just can't hold a fucking conversation or who just their favorite movie is The Princess Diaries. Anyway.
Well, I noticed that most chicks have shitty taste in movies. I ain't gonna stop.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Anyway, but what was I gonna say? Oh, but like it's just so crazy to me, like how many of those dudes I'll see like in public or just like hanging out with people, and I'm just like yeah, like I kind of want to like say something like, bro, this subpar pussy you getting is not worth like the rest. And then especially like, I'm just gonna say it, in the Hispanic culture in San Antonio, it's a big thing. I feel like that's a big thing. I see that so much. And those dudes end up getting married with the chick because they knock them up or some shit.
That's a male thing.
And I just like settling for a woman and then marrying her because you knocked her up.
Settling.
Like that's just not just settling, but like
because you knocked her up. Oh, okay.
Well, like getting with someone, and I've noticed, and maybe it's just because I'm in San Antonio, there's a lot of Mexican guys, but probably just because it was San Antonio. But to get with a chick, knock her up, marry her, and they're stuck in this relationship where they're arguing all the goddamn time.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have anything in common. They just, that guy wanted to get his dick wet, and he's like, oh, this chick's gonna blow me. So I don't know. I can't imagine
dude.
that. That is so like as taboo as I said. Like your lifestyle is a little bit and how you go about dating. That is like if I were to put both those two things on a scale on what I find most taboo, it would be like dudes who settle for airheads and then like you are down here and everything else is in between.
Yeah, man.
Like that's just to me that is beyond insane. Like I could not imagine that.
That shit is so wild, man. And God, dude, don't be a McDonald's ass nigga when there's Fogo de Chao next door. Listen, dude.
To be fair though, some dudes can't afford it
because they don't put in the work to build themselves up to be able to. But that's for another fucking day.
Yeah, man.
But man, I was with my boy Isaac, and I was talking to
what am I?
I got a girl's number with Isaac, and she was gorgeous, man.
Mm-hmm.
She was gorgeous, Panamanian, and we went on a date.
Pretty hot.
Ooh, she was.
Would you bang her?
Dude, no.
Wouldn't.
Well,
you wouldn't have.
Would I have?
Would you have?
Would
Would you right now?
Would I right? No,
would you
man.
right now?
No.
Why not? What's going on?
Cause, dude,
I'm trying to catch him for you, girl.
He's
not coming in.
Oh, damn. Hey, man, let me find out you working for her or some shit.
Yeah.
But
I'll text you the status report later.
Damn. But
this
no,
bitch
man.
You looked at Walmart.
But she was gorgeous, right? And my boy Isaac, I don't want to say like he don't get no action or whatever. He whatever. Okay.
No game.
He's all right. He's doing good for himself. He's in a situation right now. He has a nice lady he's working with. He's doing good for himself, but he doesn't really embrace the mindset that I have. Right?
Is he like more like a me mindset or
no?
Like
Isaac, his thing is like we're just talking about the man. He's not even here to defend himself.
No, go ahead.
His thing is like I can see that he wants to, and this is me speaking for him. His actual idea could be totally different, but this is just what I gathered.
Yeah, what you perceive from him.
Yeah, it seems like he doesn't mind my lifestyle. It seems like he wouldn't mind even living the lifestyle. It's just to do this, to approach, to get rejected and shit. It takes a lot of fucking courage. My girlfriend now rejected me the first time I approached myself.
Mm-hmm. Approached yourself?
Approached her. It takes a lot of fucking courage to do that and build up. It took me a long time to be able to do this shit.
Yeah.
And so it just stems from a lot of men not wanting to get uncomfortable, right? But at that, when you sacrifice discomfort, you also sacrifice a better quality of life for yourself later on. Mm-hmm. Because when I took this chick out on a date, she was great, man. She was a lot of fucking fun. I had a lot of fun with her, but I saw red flags. Red flags that most guys who don't understand women would just ignore.
If you don't mind me asking, what were like some of the red flags you were noticing? For the dudes out there who might want to know.
Yeah. Just her level of partying, the relationship.
Her level of partying, like
just how much she yearned for it, right?
Yeah.
She was a cool chick. We're still friends. I feel really fucked up, but like the level of some of the people in her life that should be solid but are not solid. The relationship,
I get you.
Shit like that. Her feelings about her ex came up and shit like that. Which, yeah.
Like on a first date type of thing? She was talking about that?
I like to get deep.
I like
to get deep. I just like to explore and see what the fuck you think about and see how you feel about certain things.
But there's definitely very telling on what someone talks about at first. Like me and you ran into someone the other day, and I had this conversation with you. I was like, I feel this way about this person because of the things that they said when we first interacted with them.
Yeah.
The first thing someone says to you about themselves or whatever tells a lot about them and what's going through their head. So I totally get that. But yeah.
Yeah, and mind you, this chick is great. she's great, right? We still see her every now and again.
Y'all still fuck from time to time?
Cut it out, man. Cut it out.
I'm trying, girl.
I know it. You got yourself a little henchman, goddammit. But
I've never even talked to this girl before.
You have.
I've talked to her once.
Yeah, that was the first date.
I was really hoping that we would have her on the podcast.
I know. Well, eventually.
I really wanted
every time I bring it up, man, she always seems a little uncomfortable about
like
it.
Apprehensive? Like,
yeah,
want to do it? Like, what do you think it is? You think it's like the relationship thing of it? Like, still new relationship? You don't want to put that kind of pressure on it?
She feels like she doesn't want to impose
on something that you do.
Right, yeah.
But I want her on. Show her this clip. I want you on.
We want you on.
I do. I don't care what he wants. I do.
Well, let me finish this fucking topic so we can
I want to know the girl who tied him down. Because I've been trying for fucking years.
Who did it?
Yeah. Who did it?
This mystery woman.
Who did it?
No, but fuck what they even saying. But so finally, the next day, talking to Isaac, right?
Yeah.
give him a little status report. Hey man, the day was cool, man. She's a cool chick, man. I really enjoy her company.
But
Yada yada yada.
This and that.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like, hey man, you guys gonna keep going at it, man? You should like pursue this chick. I was like, hey man, some red flags, man. I think we're just cool as friends. I got more of a friendship vibe. That's what I'm going out with her. And he was like, to him, it's just, hey man, she's pretty, she's cool. What the fuck you thinking?
Oh yeah.
But me, man, I know there's cancers. Those little red flags are cancers. Sure, they're fine now, a year later, 5 years later, but this shit is gonna fester. And it's going to be 40 years later, and I'm going to be at Best Buy talking to a 6'1" black guy about having to reupholster my entire fucking house because my bitch wife divorced me and took everything. That's what the shit leads to. And that's what me living this lifestyle just tries to prevent. You know what I'm saying? And that's why when I see my homeboy slipping up, I'm so fucking adamant, man. Because I see where that shit leads, dude. I see where that shit leads. Why did you?
That shit is so much passion. You had so much passion.
It scares the fuck out of
there.
me, dude. That shit is the cancer of mankind, bro. Men who settle. Men who can't lead the way and decide what they want and fucking go for it, dude. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
That shit is, it's bad, man.
I get what you're saying.
It's bad. You get flawed men. The product of flawed men is North Korea, is Hitler, is Genghis Khan. Those are all flawed men. This shit is dangerous, dude. So I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Your point is, hey, it's okay, baby, it's okay, Point is that dudes and chicks, I'm sure this applies to chicks, shouldn't settle.
Yeah, it applies to chicks too.
Yeah, shouldn't just settle because of looks or like, oh, this person likes me.
Mm-hmm.
It should be because like I get along with this person, I really enjoy this person's company, and this person hopefully helps make me a better person.
Yeah. It's like an NFL team signing a free agent. You got to go down a long drafting process. You got to look at this dude's back record, everything about him.
Yeah.
This is the person that could potentially be on your team for the long run, make you millions of dollars, or just sabotage everything. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of the approach, man.
I get you, man. Well, I think we'll go ahead and wrap up this topic.
This topic. Okay.
This topic, not the episode. No, we still got time. I'm
sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, we're at 53, but I think we're more at 50 because
man.
we had like 3 minutes of run at the beginning for mid roll or for not mid roll for pre roll.
Okay.
But Eman,
what's up, man?
We just saw. We're gonna get into our little. I don't want to call it a segment, but we're gonna get into a little film time. Talk about some movies.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about what's going on right now. First off, did you hear that Black Panther is like still killing records and shit?
Still killing it,
over
man.
the fucking box office. That shit's crazy.
That
shit came out in February, bro. We're past March. We're into the next Avengers movie is about to come out in like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And Black Panther is still just destroying box office. That clip from Chadwick Boseman, like he was doing a Black Panther parody. This past episode of Saturday Night Live. That wasn't from a month ago when the movie came out. That just fucking happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's how still relevant Black Panther fucking is. That's so nuts.
Shit is crazy. I'm glad we got to see this history, man. It's really cool. This is like, our Godfather or some shit. It's really cool to see, man.
I'm really interested in seeing how the Avengers is gonna compete with that. If it will compete with it, like lasting that long and everything. But Eman, me and you, we just saw A Quiet Place on. Did we see it Friday or Thursday? Friday, right? Friday. Yeah, it was Friday.
It was Friday.
Friday
before yesterday.
Okay, yeah. So me and Eman went to go see A Quiet Place. If y'all don't know what A Quiet Place is, it's a horror thriller, and I really don't want to even call it a horror. It's more of a thriller, but I think it's classified as a horror thriller by director John Krasinski, who played Jim in the U.S. Office, if you're familiar. And he directed in it. He starred in it along with his wife, Emily Blunt, and actually the girl, did you know this? The girl who played the deaf daughter is actually deaf in real life.
That answers some of your questions you had.
What questions?
I don't want to say.
Oh yeah. I'll say it. I'll say it here in a minute.
I want you to say it.
I'll say it here in a minute. But Eman, so we saw the movie Friday. What did you think about the movie? So we saw it spoiler free. What did you think about it?
Oh man. I like to sum up movies with one word, right? That's the best way I find to describe them sometimes. This movie is just it makes you go, huh. That's what I did when the movie ended.
Okay.
Huh.
So
it was so interesting. Just the combination of the phenomenal acting, right? Mm-hmm. The intense suspense you felt from beginning to end, and the runtime.
How can you look it up real quick? How long is this movie?
Hour 25.
Is it hour 25?
Yeah, I swear you looked it up.
Did I? I didn't look it up. I don't recall looking it up. But I felt like it was super short.
It was very short.
I felt that it was very short. But I'll kind of go into what I thought about it. I thought it was really, really. I thought it was really good. You know, I think it definitely deserves the praise that it's getting after further reflection on it. It's a really good movie. You know, how much?
Hour 30.
Hour 30. It's an hour 30. It feels like, for some reason, it feels like it was so much shorter. Yeah. But also, that movie never didn't have something going on. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's why it felt so short. Mm-hmm. Because in most movies, especially horror movies, you're expecting dead space. Like, oh, I'm walking and I'm hoping the killer doesn't find me. Or like the killer is walking for several seconds. You're expecting like that bullshit that's going to like pad out the movie. This movie always had something happening. Like, there was never like, oh, this is the transition, or oh, this is the exposition. It was always like, this is happening. Wow, that happened. Now this is happening. Whoa, this is happening. So, but I really liked it, and I feel like John Krasinski did a great job at just the movie. Obviously, is based around having to remain quiet so you don't get attacked by these creatures that are that have taken over the earth. It's kind of like a post-apocalyptic setting, but the way that they made you, the audience, feel that you had to be quiet, was fucking insane. I've never been in a film recently that made me feel like I was fucking there. And there were, I mean, you even pointed it out, like, there were parts where, like, at the very beginning where it's dead quiet, the smallest sounds, or, like, they seem really loud, and you're like, fuck. And then right when, like, a music cue started, when they started, like, walking away or whatever, you heard everyone open up their popcorn, or, it was like opening up their packages and stuff. Like, like there was one part in the movie where, like, I had, like, a slushie, and all of my slushie was, like, on one side, and I was trying to turn my straw to the other side, and I went, oh, fuck. And I put it down, and I went, fuck it. I'm not going to drink this. I can't, because I'm going to make too much noise, and I'm going to fucking die. And then something happened, like, something was moving, or something in the movie, a big sound started happening, and I went, like, really quick, like, during the sound.
You found your cues, right?
Yeah. But I really enjoyed it. So, Eman, I had this question to you, because you've also seen Get Out, directed by Jordan Peele. A lot of people are comparing, not as far as quality of movie, but people are comparing what John Krasinski did, because he's mostly known for being like a comedic actor, you know, like small roles. He's always been typecasted as Jim, which is the comedy thing he started off with on The Office. So they were comparing it to Jordan Peele, and the fact that, like, these comedians come out and, like, have, like, this hidden talent for making horror film or making suspense films. So how do you feel about that? Like, just hearing that.
Yeah, dude. I heard a fact, man, years ago, but it always stuck with me, man, because I always thought it's true. They were saying how your level of comedy is a measure of your level of intellect, right?
I'm a smart motherfucker.
Hey, man, no bullshit. You're a smart dude. You're probably, if not like top 2, you're probably the smartest, like most intelligent guy I know. You know what I mean?
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Who would be the other motherfucker then?
I'm trying to think, man.
You gonna say Ethan? Say
My
Ethan,
dad.
bitch. Say Ethan. Oh, okay. It's fine. I'll be under your dad. I'll be under your dad all night long. You know what I'm saying? Oh no.
God damn. Yeah, hey, man. Some truth is coming out. It's an interesting episode.
And obviously, you know, your girl.
What?
Oh. No, like, she's smarter than me.
Yeah.
Obviously. Yeah. Baby, you smart. You like Einstein with titties.
You like Einstein with titties. Quote of the year, man. God damn. Quote of the year, yo. You like Einstein with titties. Somebody call your local pharmacy. Have them make that into a card pronto, man. That needs to be a fucking greeting card.
You like Einstein with titties. I don't know where that came from. Dude. I don't know where that
came from. You like Einstein with titties. That's fucking amazing,
like,
man.
Girl, you like Einstein with titties.
Einstein with titties.
Oh, we gotta put that on a shirt, Eman.
We have to, man.
You like Einstein with titties.
Came with that shit, dude. That's a quote of the night.
Okay.
But the fuck was I even saying, dude? So yeah, it makes sense that a lot of these comedic actors who are taken lightly because they do comedy for some odd reason will come out with some artistic bangers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
it's what do you expect? No, never mind. I was gonna use Seth Rogen and his boy James Franco, but they always do comedic shit.
Yeah,
but just the art they produce is really fucking good.
Yeah, the disaster artist,
abstract, yeah,
is fucking great.
Yeah,
and unfortunately, my boy James Franco, I don't know if it was ever confirmed if he did it or not, but because of the accusations that came out at the time of award season, I feel like that's the only reason he was not further considered for awards. Because he won, what award did he win? He won something.
I think it was nominated for Best Picture, bro.
No, he won an award for like a screenplay or some shit, and I don't remember if it was like Golden Globes or something. He won something. Mm-hmm. And he brought Tommy Wiseau on stage with him. And he won some award, and the day after he won that award, some girl was like, I can't keep quiet about this anymore. James Franco like sexually like harassed me or some shit. And you know, I can't be like, because at first I was like, man, that bitch got ruined everyone's party. But then I was also like, man, but it's hard because on one end you're like, man, James Franco's an asshole. I can't believe he did that. What a disgusting pervert. But on the other end, it's so easy for anyone to just come out and start saying shit now. And so I just, like, I don't know to believe it or not. Like, there's no proof behind it. And unfortunately, my boy got hit, like, right when he could have, like, and I know he not lived and breathed, but he was so passionate about that project that, like, it kills me to know, like, one accusation, you know, hopefully it's false, but if it is true, like, still one thing that he did fucks that up for him.
Yeah, it's scary shit,
man. But anyway, but yeah, but I think the point of it is like Quiet Place is really good.
Yeah, look, dude, I always tip my hat to original concepts, man. Yeah, especially in a world where everything is produced in a like almost manufactured. Well,
I don't think he fully wrote it himself. I think like he was given the script and then he helped like do rewrites because he's like credited with like co-writing the script or something.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean either way, like the fact that he made that fucking movie.
Yeah, to come out with some shit like that takes a village, man.
So Eman,
go ahead.
Hot take. Oh, right here. Quiet Place, like all movies, has some shit that happens. Some unbelievable, some believable. It's a movie. You suspend your disbelief a little bit.
Definitely.
I had an issue.
With
one thing in the film. Mm-hmm. They're running from these monsters, right? They're like, I don't know if they're aliens. I don't know if they're from underground. They're monsters that react to sound. You know, this wife and this family has to go through things that no family could actually, I feel, could go through in this situation.
You're right.
But I'm behind it all. Behind it all 100%. Here's the part where they got me fucked up, right? Mm-mm. John Krasinski plays the husband. Mm-hmm. Great looking guy. You've looked at it during the movie. During the movie, at the very beginning of the fucking movie, you looked at me and you went, this motherfucker looks real good. Like,
so this motherfucker's gorgeous, yo.
Yeah. And then Emily Blunt is really fucking pretty. She's beautiful, man. And you know they have the one son, they have the two. They have kids, and they have these sons, and the sons, you're like, oh well, obviously, these came out of them. They're pretty cute and everything. Mm-hmm. But they got this daughter.
That's what you're just spinning your disbelief on. Okay. Okay. All right.
How do these two beautiful people like John Krasinski and Emily Blunt make that ugly daughter?
Yeah, man. Woo. I told you during the movie, I said, hey, man, can we see some like adoption papers or something to really explain what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah, because then that would have helped further her little character issue she was dealing with. And not that I want to go along, not that I want to spoil it too much, but to be fair, also, I made this statement before I read an article today about how the girl who played the daughter is deaf, and John Krasinski was very pro her being in the film and wanted her to be in the film because he wanted a deaf representative for that community to see the film or to be in the film. So that's all good and everything, but she ugly though.
She ugly, man.
She ugly though.
And it's not even fair because she hadn't even hit puberty yet, or maybe she's going through it.
She's 15.
15?
15.
She's at the... Ooh, she's female, so she's kind of...
Yeah, that girl don't get pretty in 5 months. She gonna be ugly forever.
Yeah, your time slot is closing up, lady. Get on it.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I mean, you're gonna have to settle if you don't fix that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Get in that line.
I really hope people can see the satire line.
I know, dude. Fuck. We're assholes just shitting on this 15-year-old.
No, she was great in the film.
Yeah, and that's my thing. To have somebody,
just because you're ugly, I mean you can't be good.
Right? Yeah. To have somebody be genuinely deaf and genuinely a good actor to partake in that level of film, right?
Definitely.
You can't have your cake and eat it too, man. You gotta cut corners somewhere. And if you really want it deaf, you gotta settle for ugly. Sorry.
That's true.
This is our hot take now, man. Because I agree with you. But damn, I didn't know you were going, okay. I thought you were going to be like, I think Get Out is better than this. You're like, nah, fuck that. That bitch ugly. What a hot take, dog.
Yeah, you thought my hot take was going to be, hot take, did you feel that the movie was actually a satirical expression of how our society is silent so that they don't get eaten up by the media or other conservatives?
You wish.
Yeah, you thought that's what I was saying, but I was like,
I was waiting for that.
I was like, hot take, bitch, ugly.
That is a very hot take. You're shitting on 15-year-olds.
She got cheeks where her chin should be. Okay. She did have a very manly chin, though, didn't she?
It's like she walked into a fucking door. Like it's part of her morning routine, like she does it every day. Her shit is flat. She had a flat face.
One day,
assholes,
I really hope that we take off and we become like famous or some shit. So, because if I'm not famous to cover my ass for shit I said before I was famous, then I don't know what you get famous for. I want people to come up to me and be like I want this girl to come up to me and be like, and be like, fuck you, and I'm gonna be like. I'm just gonna be like,
what does that mean?
From the movie?
What is that? Oh, okay.
Eman.
What does that mean? Oh, forever?
Yeah. Like always.
Hey, did you almost cry at that part?
Bro, we won't talk about it too much.
No.
But, yes, I almost did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was very that was a very good part in the movie. Loved it. Basically, you should go see A Quiet Place if you haven't already seen it. It's very great. Support. I mean, not like he's an indie director because obviously it's a big film, but support like these like smaller projects. It's not like a huge project. The movie really takes place in like one place and it's quiet, so you're getting your money's worth, you know. But I think we're just at about time.
Yeah. But real quick,
Go ahead, bro.
Not even like support just indie, just support originality. You know what I mean? It's really big. It's really needed at
in
a time
a world
like this.
of everything trying to be franchises and everything trying to be superhero movies and everything trying to be Godzilla, and everyone trying to create cinematic universes, like support the film that's coming out that's original, because then that shows studios that we want to see more movies like that, and the people are going out to see more movies like that. Because if not, all we're gonna deal with is 15 Mission Impossibles, 15 James Bonds, all the superhero movies. I mean, Marvel superhero movies are great, but at the same time, like
Fast and Furious,
it's always great. Yeah, it's always good to go to the movies and just see like a one-off thing, like just like a really well done artistic movie. You know what I mean?
Art, man.
So, go see A Quiet Place, and then, then go watch The Office because he's good in The Office too. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for tuning in to this episode of Break Time. Like always, remember to check out the links in the description and stuff. Oh, and if you did make it to the end of the episode, I should have said that at the beginning. I always assume nobody's watching it by the end.
I know, it's so sad, right?
But we are, if you know us, if you're, friends with us or whatever, or you want to be on the podcast as one of our guests in the upcoming couple weeks, let us know. You can send us a message. Don't do it on YouTube. I don't check them. Do it like on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. You can catch us all there. All those links are in the description. Eman, is there anything you want to tell the good people before we end out this episode of Break Time?
Come forth. Reveal yourself. Please. I want to see who's listening. Now, not because I want your feedback online, but I want your feedback in person, man. Come be a fucking guest. Come have some fun with us in my bedroom. Can be taken both ways. But hey,
we're accepting
whichever mindset gets you here, subscribe to it.
We're accepting all guests, except
absolutely.
Johan, because our views went down when we had him on as a guest.
We invited Johan on for that episode, and we're just shitting on him. Yeah, man.
But it's true though. All the views were like boom, boom, boom. Man, dude, only 5 people watched the episode with Johan.
And they were all Johan. Just come be a fucking guest, people. We're lonely. We hate each other. That's why.
Lonely.
We hate each other, and the studio feels that by us having a guest, it might make the relationship a little more, a little better. So if you guys want to see, the prosperity of Break Time,
woke up in the
Middle of the night, and I noticed my girl wasn't by my side.
Could have sworn I was dreaming. So I had to take a little ride.
Keep going, I'm jumping in.
Backtracking on these streets, trying to figure out what I did to make it go bad.
Ever since my girl left me, my whole life came crashing. I'm so lonely.
I'm Mr. Lonely. I have nobody. I have nobody.
Call my
own girl.
Beautiful, man.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in this episode of Break Time, and we will catch you next time.
Yeah.